Hey guys, so today we're doing a video with just a few little stories that have been happening on the internet. I love this eye look. I just wanted to emphasize before anyone asks, this is the Lunar Beauty, so Manny MUA's brand, and I just filmed a video of like first impressions, and that's gonna go up on my channel somewhere around like this weekend possibly, so probably tomorrow or the day after, where I try his eyeshadow, and the lip gloss is also Lunar Beauty, and then a few other things. Basically most of my face is new products, and it was such a successful video. I was so happy with myself. So you want to see kind of what worked, what possibly didn't. My second channel will be in description along with my social media links, so Instagram and Twitter, any affiliate links, magic links, anything that helps to put a roof over my head. So I have a bit of a migraine, and I know whenever I say that there's going to be this one malicious comment that's like, if you actually had a migraine you wouldn't be sitting there filming a video. Well, I'm sorry darling, but this is my job, so I have to turn up. Otherwise, you know, you don't get paid. And I know someone's gonna be like, I've had migraines where I couldn't. Yeah, no, I get it. Cool. Great story. I'm glad you're this big victim in this situation. I have a migraine and I'm still here. That was so aggressive, but I just hate when I say that I have a migraine and someone out there is like, well, actually, scientifically, if you actually had a migraine, then we know way that you'd be sitting in front of those lights and filming a video. It's like, well, I'm sorry that I actually am committed to the cause of spilling the tea. 2 months ago, I spoke about Bon Appetit, which is a channel centered around obviously cooking, and it's more personality based though. That's the thing. It's like there's cooking, but no one's really there for the cooking, everyone's there for the characters. So there's Claire, who does the like gourmet, she makes like gourmet snacks. During the pandemic they were doing like these, essentially just like they would all film in their house and they would get a challenge, like make something out of only the products in your like fridge or something, and then they'd have to like quickly whip something up. And then it started coming out that people of color are being treated worse in the workplace than white people are being treated. They were being paid less, they were being showcased less. Recipes were usually just very whitewashed, like there was no cultural food, which of course like there are white places with cultural food, but I feel like that is then more accepted than, for example, cultural food in countries that are mainly populated by people of color, if that makes sense. Like there's some weird disconnect there where they will make weird like French food, but they will not make weird African food or Asian food. You know what I mean? Like for some reason that just didn't, yeah. Anyway, I think there was a story of a woman who kept on sending them, I think it was Somalian recipes, and then she was trying to basically put like a modern twist on it or something, and she just wanted to send it to them to possibly feature in one of their magazines. And they just said that no one would be willing to make it. As if like they speak, I think I spoke about this in one video, as if like they know what people want to make and what people don't want to make. Like, how are you telling me what I would want to recreate or possibly try? Like, people aren't that narrow-minded where they will, of course there are narrow-minded people, but not everyone is this narrow-minded where like they will just not try something because it's not white. Anyway, so yeah, that happened. And then Bon Appetit came out with statements basically just saying like they will fix everything and they will employ more people of color. And then, well, the last time I spoke about Bon Appetit was a few videos ago. I mentioned Bon Appetit again because Priya put out a statement saying that she's leaving Bon Appetit because as much as they were saying they were going to do all these things and employ people of color, as a matter of fact, they offered her less money. She kind of explained it as like she was getting paid this amount, right? And then she said, I'm being paid less than my white counterparts. Could I be paid more? Just a very valid statement to make. And then they basically said, yeah, we'll give you a new deal. And then she said, actually, with this new deal, there was a possibility that I would make even less than I was making already, which is like, so you'd be making even less than the white counterparts. Crazy. And then they actually wanted her to take part in interviewing people of color, and she would know, like she, in her head, she would know that they were being offered a lower salary than the white people. Even though, yes, they were employing people of color, they were still offering them a worse deal than they were offering the white people. After all the outrage, after all the, you know, being called out and people saying that they wouldn't take part in videos unless this was all being fixed, they were still trying to cut corners. Imagine being, I'm gonna go on a whim here and say, imagine being so racist that you'd make your own life more difficult just to make people of color come off worse. Like, even racist people, when they're trying to make money, will bypass their racist thoughts and pretend they are not racist so that they can get more money. Bon Appetit saw that people were not taking part in their videos anymore, saw that people wanted to leave their company, saw that people just didn't want to watch their videos anymore, and instead of, I don't know, pushing their racist ideas aside and being like, okay guys, you know, as much as we don't want to pay people of color the same amount as white people, maybe we should do it just for the sake of, you know, not losing the reputation that we have and possibly, you know, not losing more staff. They were like, no, as much as people are calling us out and as much as there is a risk of a lot of people leaving our company, we're just going to keep on treating people of color worse than white people because we're this like stuck in our ways. I don't even know how to explain it. Or alleged, whatever, like, I don't want to get sued by Bon Appetit, but like, in my opinion, the racism runs very deep if you're not willing to make sacrifices, or at least pretend that you're not racist, even when there is a risk of a lot of your staff leaving, and then publicly shaming you. Like, they just don't care. And that's when you know the racism runs deep, is when you can't even pretend that you're not racist. That's... Solar put out a statement basically just saying, like, after being called out, they still have made zero change, and, you know, she's leaving. And then Molly actually put out a statement, and I saw it because someone quote tweeted her statement, and someone I follow liked it. That's essentially just how I came across this whole thing, is just word of mouth on Twitter. So Morgan Sung quote tweeted Molly's tweet and said, Bon Appetit went from the most beloved YouTube channel of quarantine to a crumbling mess so fast when they simply could have agreed to pay their BIPOC staff a fair wage. That's what I mean. It's like, imagine if they just pretended. Like, I'm saying pretended because at this point I'm like, you know what, a lot of companies at their core are not great. So they could have at least pretended that they are not racist and just paid people a fair wage. Also, on top of that, what they could have then done is, instead of pretending, they could have actually just fired the racist people, brought in some people of color to make sure that there is representation higher up so that people lower down get a fair wage, you know, because whatever's coming from the top is, you know, what happens at the bottom, right? So if you have like people of color at the top, then people of color are going to be treated better at the bottom. Does that make sense? But yeah, they could have, you know, easily pretended and then paid people a fair wage and still had their narrow-minded thoughts, or they could have fired the people with the narrow-minded thoughts and brought in people with more open minds. Anyway, that was in response to Molly putting out a statement saying, I'm sad, I'm disappointed, I'm frustrated along with all of you. Yesterday, we lost 3 valuable members of our video team. I support the decision I can never say that word. Unequivocally? And I'm extremely disheartened that Condé Nast was unable to provide them contracts that they felt were fair and equitable. I wish I had more to share with you after months of silence, as I know you have all been waiting for change along with me. It is for this reason that I've asked C&E to release me from the video obligations of my contract. I will no longer appear on the BA YouTube channel. For the time being, I'll continue to work at the magazine as it rebuilds, which is a separate entity from C&E, and I'm truly looking forward to the new leadership that we've been told we can expect soon. I sincerely hope, for the sake of a brand and a group of people I deeply love, that a diverse and inclusive video program is coming. I don't think it is. And then so Molly left, Solar left, Priya left, Rick left. Right, so what's happening now is not only did they lose, it's like they lost all the people of color that they had, essentially. So now they're just a white cast, which is even worse. So now they're going to have to try and find people of color, but they're also going to be offering them bad wages, which now they know, because everyone can see these statements these people are putting out saying, hey, these are not fair wages. So people of color will not want to come in, pay people fair wages, you know? So recently we've been talking a lot about influencers going to parties, but we haven't been talking about celebrities going to parties, and that is interesting. Def Noodles tweeted out saying Demi Lovato hangs out with Nikita Dragon, Demi, and gets backlash from fans. Fans were concerned that Demi was not wearing a mask since Nikita has attended parties with people who allegedly have... Notably, in paparazzi photo, only person with mask on is Demi's fiance. And here's the picture of Demi just holding the mask against her face. When it has the strings, why don't you just put it on? You know, he's wearing the mask, Nikita's just not doing anything. They shouldn't even be out, because LA's just like far behind. I feel like London now is kind of getting back to normal. Like, people are, you know, wearing masks in like supermarkets and stuff, but restaurants are open, pubs are open, bars are open. London's just kind of like slowly coming back to normal because our cases have gone down, because, you know, people actually kind of semi-followed the rules. Not perfectly, but enough to where we can actually go back to normal now-ish. LA though, I would not step foot outside my house if I lived in LA right now, because it just seems like you step foot outside, you take a breath in and you just got it. Then someone said, Demi Lovato, ma'am, we love you, but the pandemic isn't over yet. Wear your mask. And Nikita was literally around a lot of people at the party a few days ago. Someone else said, why are you hanging out with Nikita, Demi Lovato? She always got to do something to embarrass me when things are going good. Then regarding parties, do you guys remember when there was the Hype House? No, there was a TikTok party and Kenzie went to it, and then her mum was trying to claim that like Kenzie didn't attend the party. Well, here it is. So that was a picture of Kenzie, and then Kenzie actually put out an apology saying, hi everyone, I want to apologize for my actions this past weekend. I made a mistake by going to a gathering at a friend's house. I understand the seriousness of and like everyone else, I'm learning to adapt to this new normal. We've been adapting since, I'd say, March. It is August. We should have adapted a while ago. And if we had adapted, hear me out, a while ago, we would be unadapting now because we'd be back to normal. Well, at least you guys would be, because we're kind of coming back to normal, like I said. London, big city, you know, still a big city, lots of people, but we're kind of back to normal. Things are opening up. People go to restaurants, you know, everyone's being careful. Hand sanitizer everywhere. You guys, you should be adapted. You should be at home. I don't know why it's so difficult to understand. I know these people are young, but they're not much younger than me. Some of them are older than me. Some of them are my age. And I somehow stayed home. I had my birthday at home. I didn't leave. I am just now entering the world, and I'm still not taking public transport anywhere. I'm so glad that my car came sooner than I expected it to be, because I still wouldn't have had it if it came at the actual estimated date. But I could just drive everywhere now, so I don't take public transport. I don't take Ubers, I still don't trust it. But I'm starting to go like shopping and stuff. But you guys in LA, yeah, you need to stay home. But also the fact that her mum lied for her, knowing the kind of danger that she's putting other people in, that's not a responsible parent to me. I'm not, you know, coming for her parenting skills, do whatever you want. I mean, you know, I've come for parents before. Danny Con's mum, Jennifer, hi, how are you? I've got some things to say about you in the next few videos, because damn, the stuff I've been seeing is insane. But I just don't know if I feel comfortable talking about it, to be honest. Like, at this point, it's come to the point where the situation isn't going to change. CPS is not doing anything. And I feel uncomfortable talking about a child that is going through the things that Danny Con is going through. So I don't even know if I'm going to mention it in a few videos, but I'm trying to gather things and thoughts. But yikes. But yeah, I've spoken about parents before, and I think it's a valid thing to talk about people's parents, because parents are the example for the kids that are now on the internet that are then influencing other kids. And the fact that her mum just went, oh no, she wasn't at the party, guys. And now Kenzie made her own mum look like an idiot publicly, because she's like, yeah, I was at a party, I'm so sorry. It's just bullshit, you know? So recently I spoke about Addison Rae's new beauty company called Item Beauty, and on one of the compacts for the bronzer contour duo thing, it said, I love you, say it back. And there was a influencer who has a merch brand, and on all the clothes it says, I love you, say it back. And she's actually trademarked that, but only for clothing. So obviously makeup isn't clothing, so I guess that's how you bypass the trademark. But there is an article on 17 that says Addison Rae's beauty company responds to slogan controversy. So at Item, we support, lift up and foster a community of positivity, the statement said. I hate, like, what? That was such a useless statement. Why was that need to be said? Item has been in development since last year, and this phrase was concepted internally when Item's creative director shared that she says, I love you, say it back, to her 4-year-old son each night before going to bed. This was the impetus for the phrase, and by placing it on a mirror and some interior packaging, it reflects a daily message of affirmation. The thing is, I do like that on the mirror, because I think it's kind of cute. Like, oh, I love you, say it back. Like, and you can say it back to yourself. You're like, oh, I love you, say it back. Ooh. But, you know, it is someone else's saying, so, you know. And mainly it's not just like one t-shirt that has it, it's like the whole brand is centered around this one slogan. So like to take that away from that person when you've clearly got a much bigger brand is like, you know, like a much bigger platform, I guess. We have no plans to place this phrase on apparel. So, okay, so they have no intention of putting it on clothing. So that's their legal way of saying the trademark is for clothing. Our thing is a bronzer. So we're allowed to put on bronzer as long as we don't put it on clothing. That's what they're saying, right? Item Beauty launches today at itembeauty.com. The launch will include a mascara, liquid eyeshadow, bronzer palette, along with some other beauty items. So they are keeping it on the mirror, but they're just not putting it on clothing, is what they're saying. So they're legally, essentially just saying, leave us alone, because we're not at fault legally. Morally, ethically, whatever it is, you can have your own opinion, but legally, they're saying we are not at fault, which they're not wrong, but is this little story about a 4-year-old true? Or is that just a made up story to then be like, we came up with this as well, it's not original? Taylor Lorenz tweeted out saying, new creator mansion alert, beauty influencer Cole Carrigan. Beauty influencer, he's literally just known for being problematic, that's all it is. It's just like Nikita Dragon 2.0. I don't know how Nikita Dragon, Cole Carrigan, or any of that lot are referred to as beauty influencers when they're known more for their controversies and inserting themselves into drama than they are for actually doing beauty looks. And when they do a beauty look, it's also controversial. I mean, Nikita Dragon looking 10 shades darker than she actually is, and then Cole Carrigan using Australian wildfires as a makeup look, which he actually then stole from a small influencer, but they didn't actually do any links to donate back to Australian wildfires. They just did it for the fun of it, to get put under the hashtag. It's like, imagine doing one beauty look every 6 months and that being controversial as well. Could never be me. and La Demi, I'm actually not quite sure who that is, are launching the Glam House, a Beverly Hills house for beauty creators, makeup influencers, hairdressers, etc. I wonder who's going to be in the lineup, like, to be in the house. I would like to know, because I don't... No offense, but like, I don't see Cole Carrigan with many friends. You know, he was recently hanging out with Jeffree Star, but I didn't see him hanging out with Jeffree Star before Jeffree Star's controversy. So was he just like a backup friend? I don't see many people hanging out with Cole Carrigan purely because he's so controversial that it's like, at that point, no one wants to be associated with the controversy, you know? Like, even if they like him as a person, I think it's not good for business to hang out with him. But I'll try and look into who he's actually friends with and who's possibly like replied to this tweet or something. Like, I want to figure out who's in this house. So far it's just 2 people. Apparently there was a new TikTok house coming out, and they had a party that was like for 150 people. I don't even want to know what the house is called. I don't care enough. I literally could not care less. I don't care about these houses. I don't care. Oh my god, they annoy me. Okay, I do care, but only because they annoy me. That's literally the only reason I care. 2, Bryce Hall apparently kicked out 2 trans women and 1 black woman from one of his most recent parties. There's more evidence that parties are still happening all over LA at content houses. So someone replied to one of his tweets. So he said, cancel culture looking for the next victim. And someone replied to him saying, babe, you kicked my 2 friends and I out of a party because 2 of us are proudly trans and our other friend was a black female. So expect to be cancelled. Why are people like you given a platform? I wish you guys also didn't go to the party, but the point still stands. What he did is much worse than you going to a party, but, you know, let's address the fact that you shouldn't be going to parties either. But then, yeah, wow. And apparently Bryce Hall is now kicked out of the Hype House. Tony Lopez also kicked out because he was messaging underage girls. Love that. I'm not even going to get into this because my videos have been getting demonetized for literally sneezing wrong. Because if I sneeze and it, by some odd chance, sounds like a word that YouTube has now deemed as inappropriate, I'm going to get demonetized. So I don't actually wish to talk about this. But just so you know, Tony Lopez is kicked out. And I actually find Tony Lopez one of the most annoying people that I've ever seen. I don't know if you guys know what I mean when I say, like, he looks annoying. Like, he looks like someone that would be really annoying to hang out with. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, you know when you look at someone, they just look annoying. Yeah, that's Tony Lopez. And on top of that, he's just trash. So that's cool. He also recently has been copyright claiming people's videos just for using his videos from TikTok, where he's using other people's music. You're not even making content. Do you understand that? Do you understand that you're not making content? You're dancing to a song that isn't yours. And then you have the nerve to copyright claim someone else's video when you wouldn't have content if it wasn't for someone else's music. It just blows my mind how untalented some of these people are. I mean, there's people like Charli D'Amelio and Addison Rae who are able to diversify. Addison Rae has a podcast with her mum. She now has a makeup line. The D'Amelio sisters, Dixie, just got signed to one of the biggest labels because of her song popping off. Charli and Dixie are now the faces of Morphe 2. Beautiful. They're diversifying. Dixie has some of the most incredible Social Blade numbers I've ever seen for her YouTube channel. It's mental. So same goes for Charli. They're able to diversify. But some of these people in these houses, like some of these boys, because not even men, boys, they're so useless. I can't even explain well enough how useless these boys are. They're useless. They can't diversify. Jake Paul was supposed to have a fight recently, and I think it got moved back because of something. And he had a boxing match in his house. Like, there were people boxing in his house. That can't be safe. Also, Tana Mongeau then went to see him after attending all the parties that she attended. It blows my mind. Someone created a Tana Mongeau apology video bingo. So there's an intro longer than 3 minutes. I'm not that girl anymore. Blaming her mental health. And that actually got me. For the last few apologies, I've been giving her a pass because she always brings up her mental health and I feel bad for going at her. But at this point, it's like, is it every video that you have to, oh, I'm so sad. I've been going through a rough patch in my life. I've never been in a darker place than I am now. How many dark places can you be in? Some BS about her channel origin story, living in her parents' house. Yeah, that's so true. I never really realized that. I'm human. I make mistakes. There are no excuses. Speaking in that weird low voice. Oh yeah. And she does like a weird croaky voice. And I promised myself that I would never be one of those dumb blonde girls on the internet. I want to be the voice for the odd one out. The girl that doesn't fit in. She does that, she really does. The hardest video I've ever had to make. A mention of being an activist. I refuse to keep being that person. I wouldn't be here without you guys. Unnecessary exaggerated hand gestures. She does do that. Wow, this is so spot on. Oh my god. I'm always so real and genuine on my channel. Longer than 25 minutes. No makeup. Actually, she had makeup on in her last apology. That's crazy. Wow, switching it up. Referring to her problematic behavior only in past tense. Yeah, that's a big one. Okay, wow. Okay, so we have this bingo, right? Screenshot this or something. And then once her apology drops, we can all simultaneously play the bingo. That'll be fun. Now, regarding Jake Paul, he recently addressed the whole FBI raid thing, and he said it was to do with the, you know, during the Black Lives Matter protest where he was looting in the shopping center. He says it's regarding that, but it's weird how many things they seized from his house. If it's just regarding that, I don't know. Maybe it was just like by chance they like raided him for something else, and then I don't know, but it just seemed like a much bigger deal than what he's making out to be. I don't know, I guess we'll find out soon or never, but he's claiming it's to do with the looting, so that's cool. Like I said, Jeffree Star is dropping a palette, and we just saw what it is, and I don't even want to say the word on the internet. If you guys want to see it, it's on his Twitter and on his Instagram. I'm not going to say the name, but it's the most tacky, cheap, disgusting. I don't even want to... Who's going to buy that, and who's going to actually show that in a video and be like, yeah, I'll say the name of the palette with a straight face. I'm just going to put this on my face. Wow. And yeah, cool. The Hype House are also selling those weird chains that Team 10 used to sell, where like you only pay for shipping. It's basically like the Kenzie Cosmetics scam. I have to say that now because apparently it's like the Kenzie Cosmetics scam that Tana Mongeau and Gabby Hanna took part in, where you only pay for shipping, and apparently this product is valued at so much, but it's for free now and you're only paying shipping. And the shipping's like $20. I think the shipping for the Hype House ones are like, it's like $16 or something, but you can't buy more than one chain in one order. You have to buy it in separate orders, because technically the shipping price is the price of the chain, right? Because then if you get like 10 chains in one order, then you're getting them for $180, but they want it for $18, you know? Why don't they just put the chain at $18 then with free shipping? I don't know why they would... Who's actually falling for... Oh, they're young fans. Okay. Forgot that their fans are literally 5-year-olds. Anyway, so if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything you want, comment down below, and subscribe to post videos every time something happens. So hit that bell, you'll be notified when that's happening. Social media links and second channel and affiliate links in description, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.